We're taking the wise men out of the Christmas story and we are putting them in the Easter story because that is actually where they belong. We learned in the last video that because the wise men met up with Jesus in Bethlehem when he was about 1.5 to 2 years old, and that Mary and Joseph had gone back to Nazareth, that they would return once a year to Jerusalem for Passover, which means that that's when the wise men would have seen Jesus to give him the frankincense, the myrrh, and the gold. Kind of important, don't you think? P.S. That is also when the angel visited Joseph and said, take Mary and Jesus and flee to Egypt. So we just jumped from Christmas to Easter / Passover. Catch my drift? You see what happens on the 6th day before Passover, so before Jesus is crucified, Mary took a pound of ointment of spikenard, which was a very costly ointment, and she anointed Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. However, the interesting thing with spikenard is that it's used to stop or prevent bacterial growth on the skin and inside the body. On the skin, it's applied to wounds and such. So she's anointing his feet with this. And 6 days from then, he will have nails in his feet. Now, she might have poured it all over his body because he said that she poured it on his body. So there's that. Also important to note that spikenard blends quite well with frankincense and myrrh. Now, this was the stuff that's prepared a body for burial, right? But wait, there's like a numbing agent in myrrh. And she put it on his feet. And then 2 days before the Passover, before he's crucified, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment and poured it on his head. What goes on his head? The crown of thorns. That would hurt, right? You click on that word ointment. Myrrh, baby. So we got a little numbing going here. We got some numbing on the body, which, by the way, 6 days before, when the other one, she put the ointment on his feet, poured the oil, whatever. She numbs it. She's putting that on. That absorbs into the body. You got 6 days worth of antibacterial going all up in you. So his wounds would not have been infected, you see. And now the body's prepped and numb, so it actually hurt less. God is so good that even though he sends his son to die on the cross for us, and Jesus took on the full wrath of God, still, he helped him out, putting on that numbness so it wouldn't hurt as bad, which is awesome. And you see here, when he was being crucified, they offered him to drink wine mingled with myrrh because it was a numbing agent, so it would probably hurt less. But he was good because he had help. They prepped him for this. They prepped his body for the burial, and God prepped him for a little less pain because, the excruciation of it all. Is that a word, excruciation? I'm going with it. But yeah, somebody needs to rewrite these guys into the Passover / Easter story. Take them out of the Christmas story because they don't belong there at all.